Good morning. We are the Life Motivators. We're here every day to bring the energies and the vibrations to you. And today we're talking about high energies and how to keep your energies and your vibrations on that high energy plane no matter what every single day of your life. We have things and situations that are going on, and we just got off of this long weekend. Everybody has the high energy still, or some of you may be like, oh man, I got to go back to work. So your energies are going back kind of down low from a weekend that was just full of nothing but energies, of vibrations, of things that you were doing, situations that just come up out of the norm, and then all of a sudden you have to reroute what you were thinking or doing and the places you were going, and then all of a sudden you were thinking, oh, your energies wanted to go down, but yet we have learned to harness those energies and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep the goodness going, and we're going to keep the greatness flowing within us, no matter the energies that everybody else might be putting off because they've had stress within their life, and they're exerting it out on everybody else because they haven't truly said, you know what, I'm ready to release this crap, get it off of me. But it takes everybody a different little cycle throughout the mornings to get their day flowing. Some people say, don't talk to me until this cup is about down to here, so when they drink their full cup of coffee, then you can speak to them. But until then, don't open your mouth, right? That's the way some parents are to me in the mornings. I've heard that all the time. Energies are different for every person on how the way they motivate themselves in the morning times. Getting the high energies before you get out of the bed and having that high vibrations to be able to live your day. Do you think I just walked in here and said, you know what, hey, we're doing this, bang, I'm happy energy? No, I just got up about 4 hours earlier so I could get myself in tune with my life to get my vibrations on that high energy plane that I keep on a day-to-day basis. And we all meditate in different ways. We all align within different ways in the morning times. We all get in touch with our source energies and with our gods. We all pray different in the morning, or whatever it is that you do to get yourself in alignment. And after you've had your pot or your 2 or 3 cups of coffee and you're ready to roll, guess what? I didn't have these 3 or 4 cups of coffee. I've only had 2 sips of this 1 cup, and I had a glass of orange juice. So this high energy, it comes from me. This is my energies that you are seeing every morning within here. These are my energies that y'all are vibrating off of in here within the morning times, because I have learned how to harness my high energies a long time ago and to bring my true self of my beliefs and my happiness everywhere I go. My planning of vacation times, that is where I talk about high energies, because that's where all of y'all can actually understand the energies that I live on a day-to-day basis. Because that time frame that y'all are planning those vacations, or you just got off of that vacation, the memories that you just made, and all of that stuff that you just went out and did and had fun with your family, your friends, your fellowship, you barbecued, you got to see people you haven't seen in a while. You was able to just relax, sit under a shade tree, or you went to the beach, whatever you was able to do. Those energies that you were feeling then, I want you to carry those on with the rest of your days. And every single day that you wake up, take that energy and vibrate with it every single day. Yes, there will be negativity thrown at you, because me and Julio talk about it all the time. The higher you get in your high vibration planes, the more people and the more energies are wanting to grab your feet and pull you back down to that negative Nancy's, the naysayer energies. They want you to be with them because misery lives with company, and they want you to be back with them. But guess what? When you vibrate on a high vibration plane, you will find that your circles will become very small. Your friendships will become a little bit smaller, because not a lot of people will understand your energies of what you're putting off and the ideas and the creative things that you're doing within your life. The things that we talk about energies and vibrations, and they're still stuck down here, and it's okay. They're not stuck. They're not awakened yet, because it will become one point, some shape, form, and fashion within their life, that finally people will awaken to their true self, their true belief, their true understanding, their true purpose of what they're wanting to do within their life. And it's either going to take a tragic accident, a physical something that happened within their life, a loss of a loved one, or something crazy. Who knows? Catastrophic within the earth that might start awakening some of these people to understand the betterness that they have with them to co-create and take that energies and rock it out. Because that energies, those thoughts, that vibration, those creative ideas. And when you get in here and what we call a mastermind in the morning, or I call co-creating, because in here, as we're all speaking and all putting our different energies and twists to this morning from their perspective, because none of us are paid actors, none of us are people that live in each other's backyards. These are people that are all over the world right here, coming in each morning to tune in to bring their energies to inspire you with their perspective on how to keep the high energies, because that's high
Can you
energy.
hear us, Thomas?
Go ahead.
You blacked out for a second,
Oh,
Thomas.
yeah, you blacked out for a little bit.
You in ghost, baby.
And we keep it flowing, and it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we keep the high energies every day throughout your life, from planning your vacations to planning to your life. Plan your life better than you do your vacations, people, and your rest of it will flow. You will be able to live a life of a vacation, because we came here to have adventures. We came here to have journeys. We came here to see what's around the corner. We didn't come to just sit in one spot like a tree. If we was, roots would already been growing off your feet. But they're not. We're here to connect with these feet to Mother Earth, because she has the energies that flow through us as well. And we have energies that give right back. And when we connect to the two, and then we understand that the vibrations and the energies that we get off of everything, because we all need that sunlight. We all need that vitamin D on our skin, within our life. Getting too much, yes, that is a little bit bad. But yet it is something that we need within us, just like a tree needs it for the photosynthesis to put off more oxygen within the earth, so we can breathe that oxygen within these lungs. Doesn't that feel good? To be able to take in that air right there? Doesn't it be able to feel good that we don't have to pay anybody for that? Doesn't it feel good that now nourishes our true body all the way down to our blood cells that you have to look at in a microscope? Something so powerful that all you did was just breathe it in. And if you don't have it, you're begging for it, because you want to live this life. So as the old preacher, the old young man wants to learn from him. So what does he do? Meet me at the ocean in the morning. And he walks the kid out there and says, okay, get underwater. Holds him underwater for a minute. What's he doing? He's flouncing. He wants up. He wants that oxygen. He comes up and he's like, what are you doing? He said, didn't that feel good that you just had that air in your lungs? Yeah. Dunked him back down again. Now the kid's flouncing again. Finally picks him back up. He's, I want more air. I need the air. He said, you need that to live. So go out and live life. Because if you don't have that within your lungs, you're not living. You want that so bad, take it with you everywhere you go. That is yours. Nobody can take it from you. Your dreams, your creative ideas, the places you're wanting to go, the people you're wanting to see, you're connecting with, it's a vibration that you're putting off. I wanted to co-create with people on a day-to-day basis, because I've been doing this within my life by myself for so long. And to be able to watch other people co-creations happening, and to be able to mingle with these people in the morning times, to throw different ideas out everywhere. This was where I was, my drive, my passion. In 2012, when I did the full release, and I said, where are we going? I'm done. I'm tired. You bring me where I need to be. I know where I'm sitting today is because of his energy, his vibrations that he gave to me through a thought process that took this physical body, some action from me to go from the guidance system I felt within. It felt right. Ashley was talking a minute ago about breaking down on the side of the road and still being an hour away and still having to find another place to go camping now. So what she did, she flowed with the vibration system that she had within, that gut system that felt right. And she rocked it out. And it looks like they had a great time on it. I can keep going on, but I'm going to pass this on because I know everybody else has some good energies from this weekend as well. So Miss Ashley, do you want to talk about your weekend and your long weekend before we pass it on to Brother Julio?
Sure, yeah. Like Thomas was saying, I've got two, for anybody that doesn't know, I've got two young kids. They're both 4. And, we were on one of the busiest highways. I live up here in Vancouver in Canada. We were going up to Whistler, and they call it the Sea to Sky Highway. It's not the place that you want to break down. Let's just say that. And our van broke down, but in that moment, like the old me would have gotten upset, and how am I going to pay for this? And I'm on the busiest road, and this is dangerous. I have nobody with me. How am I going to do this? This is hard, and start crying and break down, and the whole cycle, right? And before you know it, you're like sucked into that tube. And it's just like, it's like really interesting looking back now, right? Like looking back, and I can laugh at it because what it was actually, I turned it into a game with the kids. I'm like, okay, here's the game we're going to play. Okay. We got to change our plans, right? We got to get everything out of the van because the man, he's going to take our van because he's going to fix it. Right. Like the van was like smoking. Like this, I'm surprised this thing didn't catch fire. And just, like we got all of our stuff to a safe spot, got the kids to a safe spot and sat and like made a little picnic in the shade and still like went slow. And I just like called the nearest place and I'm like trying to find a new campground, which in our area in Whistler right now, it's not easy. But I got the last spot on one of these campgrounds, right? And, like I was saying to everybody a little bit earlier was I just had this feeling like we obviously weren't meant to be where we were going, right? Either it was too far out into the woods. We would have definitely been out of cell reception for sure. Maybe we weren't supposed to be there, right? Who knows? I don't know what the meaning was, but what I do know is I just wasn't supposed to. The original plan was not meant to happen. So instead of going down that tunnel of why everything sucks and how bad it is and staying so connected to the original plan, like so attached and angry that the original plan didn't work, is just building a new plan, right? There was obviously a gift being given and we had a wonderful time. We were super close to this beautiful beach and we had this campsite that was just surrounded by 4 or 5 different families that had other kids the same age. All the kids were able to play, all the parents came together and we were able to chat. And it was probably 10 times better than where we were going to go. So it was just, we had a great weekend. It was lovely. So it just goes to show, right? It's like, just trust, and whatever is happening is not happening to you. It's happening for you, right? And not judging whether you think it's awful or it's amazing, right? Not labeling it, just being like, okay, this is what it is, right? Not being upset with it, and just like going with the flow. Just laugh at it. You have to have humor, right? Gotta have humor. Yeah, it was a great weekend.
That is awesome. That's the energies and the vibration and the story of, and the sitting there and seeing the whole thing, the picture unfolding of what happened. And like she said, it turned out 10 times better. The families came together. The kids had more fun. The last place that where they was going to go could have been nothing but adults, and her 2 kids would have been by themselves. And they probably had more fun at that little beach area with them other kids playing in the sand and the edge of the water. So the energy's right there. That's an awesome story. Thank you for sharing that. Brother Julio, how was your weekend, sir?
Oh man, my weekend was long, which is a great thing because normally people are like, oh, I blinked and it was gone. I had a great weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. I had some time with my children. On top of time with my children, me and Roxy have really been praying for some things. We've really been praying for some things, and what was interesting is that, guys, when I tell you to tap into your source, man, you know, like I can't make you believe how real God is and how big He is, and the concept of God, and whether you believe, and you don't reference God as God, and you reference, the universe, or you just say, however you reference that, I can't judge that for you, you know. But like, we prayed for some things, and I, Thomas, how numerology works. You understand, a lot of times, as God is going to confirm something to you, a lot of times He'll confirm them in threes. You know, so that happened this weekend. And it was just it was not, in one specific day. It was carried on throughout the days of the weekend. And we were both going through stuff separately, and that led to us going through some stuff, jointly, as a couple. And so we were praying about some things, separately, and not knowing, it I want to tell you guys that, like, the greatest deception by the enemy is making you think that you're the only person going through whatever your situation is. you know so understand that, and that's when, the other day, Thomas, we were talking about, just on a small tangent, separate from what I was talking about just now, how people, they go through so much stuff, or they make themselves miserable, and they're just offset, or, we were mentioning that, just yesterday. But anyways, You know, just the us praying and it coming to fruition, it how God revealed himself to us was amazing. That's what I want to share. You know, that wasn't the topic that I still was gonna, you know, I'm still gonna go ahead and go in on that. But my weekend as a fool, man. Ashley, that's a freaking awesome story. You actually got me really emotional just listening to that. Because that was the message I got this weekend as well. That was the message I got this weekend. You know, and Thomas kind of hit on it as well, guys. You know, the importance of balance, you know, in your life, and you've got to take yourself, you know, to a place. You've got to, you know, motivate and encourage and you know, get yourself in that right frame of mind and right frame of thinking. Um, Thomas, I even was reading the word and just studying, and can I tell you that the God kept leading me to receiving, getting in a position to receiving, but it was in the word, and I just started laughing, and I kept laughing and laughing, and I'm like, you're funny, like you're are you why are you showing off for? It's one of those, like, why you got to show off? Like, I know you're real, like I appreciate it, but when you make a connection and you have God moments, man, they're you know, people could tell you whatever, but you know that you know that you know that you experienced. You know what I'm saying? There's no denying it. You know, had a good weekend with my family. You know, I was able to go to my family's house yesterday. We went to Roxana's brother's house yesterday as well. You know, that was really, really interesting. Guys, you know, it's okay. I don't mind mentioning it. She's not on here or whatever, but we're gonna get married this week. We're gonna get married this week. So we've been together for 5 years. You know, Thomas, you already know, man. Me and Thomas has already been talking about it, but you know, I'll go ahead and say it officially, you know, to the public. You know, so but just, you know, so there was some alignment things, and you know, that we were praying, and it was just how God revealed things, and to her specifically in ways that she would understand, and then to ways for me that I would understand. And then when we communicate those things to each other, we're both taken back. And even in that moment, just seconds later, he does it again. Boom. And we're like, what the? We're you know, and we're both sitting there, you know, even crying with each other, because it's like we're astonished entirely by the moment, you know, just like, wow, you know. And you know, of course, Thomas, you know, shortly after that we got to talking about business and the possibilities of all other things, and you know, vision, and you know, goals, and all of that stuff, and it was just a really fruitful weekend, man. It was a weekend of revelation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. That's what my weekend consisted of, guys. You know, when you're in tune and you get a break and you're able to focus at a different level, the things that you can, you know, I know Roger went through some stuff recently. You know, I'm pretty sure that having a break away from his normal routine helped him analyze and give him a different perspective. You know, our life is going to take us on these journeys, and we're going to go through stuff like what Ashley went through. You know, but if you're paying attention, man, if you're really paying attention, she was paying attention. She said the old me would have yada yada yada. She was paying attention. She was in tune. So she received so much more. You know, she received a beautiful perspective. You heard how she described it to you all. You know, I don't know what your weekends consisted of. I don't know if anybody had any other amazing stories, but I was just, Thomas, you know, no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. You know, we all go through stuff. That's why I tell you guys to embrace the conflict, embrace what you're going through in life, because it's all with a purpose nonetheless. She had a plan. Her plan didn't work out. Rearranged the plan, made it fun, and the journey was even more beautiful in Ashley's story. You know, I don't know what your story can look like. You know, my story is how I described it to you and how my weekend consisted of. You know, if you put yourself in the act of receiving, which means you have to what, take action for your own life. You know, no pain, no gain. When you go to the gym, you got to work out that muscle. When you feel the pain, you know you're gonna have some gain behind it. You know you're working that muscle. You know you're getting some, some cardio in when your breathing is strenuous. What it's with anything, man. You're sitting there in front of the computer or whatever. Whatever it is you need to do in life, no pain, no gain, guys. You got to put in the hard work for yourself. So you have to put yourself in a position to receive, whether it's everyday life, whether it's vacationing, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, business, or other. It's up to you. You have yourself in the right mindset. Thomas was just referencing it a second ago. Waking up in the morning before he came on to here, getting himself in the right frame of mind. Sometimes people don't want to smile, so it's important to smile. Because you don't want to smile, you should make yourself smile to get yourself in the mindset and practicing the act of what? Smiling. That's it. So you can practice it. Why? Because you want to practice that receiving. I am happy. I am happy. That's the act of receiving. I am happy. I might not be happy, but I'm going to put a smile on my face, and brighter days. My day is going to look better. A situation might have came and it might have made me trip and stumble in my life, but I'm going to smile anyways because my day doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to choose to practice something. You're putting yourself in the position to receive the more of life. The better in the situation, the better in the circumstance. You got to put some action behind whatever that thing is that you need to do. Person, ma'am, sir, person watching on YouTube later on. That's the reality of life, man. If you can get yourself in a position to receive, you'll receive some beautiful things. That door, if you've been watching us for any amount of time, that door me and Thomas always reference, that's open with those blessings, you can receive them now. And you don't have to say and go to heaven one day and go, man, I missed out on a lot, didn't I? Just because I didn't put myself in the position to receive. I want my blessings that I'm supposed to have now. I want all of those, the fruitfulness and the abundance. And I'm not talking about monetary things. I just, whatever those things are, man, put yourself in a position to receive. So no pain, no gain. You got to put in some work for your own life, man. Love y'all. Have a fantastic morning. Make this day count.
Great.
Can I tack something on to the end of that just really quickly?
Yes.
When we're talking about receiving, it just came up for me is, sometimes like what you're mentioning, Julio, when you're just like not in the mood to smile and you're not in the mood to be happy and, you're just feeling down, or maybe you need to cry, or maybe just like whatever, you're not feeling well in that moment. One of the things that I've come to understand about the art of receiving or being in that receiving mode is the most important piece really is to be accepting of where you are and honoring whatever emotion it is that you're sitting with in that moment, even if it is sadness or depression or anger or resentment. It's honoring the entire scale, right? So, really not being hard on yourself and accepting it in that moment. So instead of saying, oh, I'm so stupid. Why can't I get this? Why can't I get that? I've been like this for 3 days. Why can't I stop crying? Why can't I feel better? Why can't I just feel happy? Why can't I be like everybody else? Why can't I just get with it? Why, right? Do you feel the resistance there? It's like you feel like you should be up here. And so by beating yourself up for just not being able to get with it, instead of just honoring that, you know what? Okay, I'm sad. Okay, I need to just have a cry. You know what? I do need to reach out to somebody for a hug. And it's okay that I'm here. It's okay because this is how I'm going to naturally go through it. I'm okay with the feelings. I'm going to allow them to come up. I'm going to allow myself to feel them. I'm going to allow myself to understand them. I'm going to allow myself to be comfortable with them because this is part of life and this is part of who I am. And I appreciate the feeling where I am right now because it's going to make all of that so much brighter. I'm okay. I'm doing just fine. Everything is perfect. I'm right where I need to be. Right? Do you feel the difference in that? So it's like, yes, I totally agree with what you're saying, Julio, about like, putting the smile on and stuff. But also, if it's not as easy in that moment, because let's face it, some people are going through some really hard stuff like we all do. And you can't just always turn that smile on. It's also about honoring the tears or honoring the anger or whatever you need to be in that moment, because there's nothing wrong with that either, right? Honor it. Honor the entire scale of emotion. They are all there for us, right?
It's part of the guidance. It's part of your body letting you have the different energies of knowing what's going on, because nobody else knows this better than you and him. You know everything that's going on. And like she said, honoring, okay, that emotion is, okay, why am I having this feeling? Now it's making you stronger to understand that I don't want this feeling anymore. I know what just happened to how I got in this energy. And it's like, okay, all right, now I understand why I'm in this energy, and it wasn't conducive of something that made me feel good. So how can I get out of it? You know, and how can I stay out of it or not get back in it is the big part. Not going back to that energy to receive that energy. Knowing how to put up the blocker and say, you know what, that didn't feel good. I didn't like it last time. Let's let you wait for a moment, not come back again. I was there. I harnessed you. I understand what you were doing, but now I'm releasing you to know that I never have to receive you again. And that helps us evolve to be the better person that we are, to understanding the better emotions that we have and we go through and why. Everything that we're doing is energy. Everything that we're putting off is energy.
What I do, Thomas, is I practice a 2-2-2 rule. So like I'll give whenever I'm going through something, because Ashley, I agree with you entirely. You have to allow yourself to go through, you're human, you're going through stuff. So depending on the severity of what that thing is, be 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 months, death in the family, maybe even 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I'll allow myself to go through something. If you're mourning, you're mourning, 2-2-2-2-2 rule.
That's it. And you all have different ways of handling situations off of the things that you have went through and experienced within your life. And we learn from our parents and how they took their emotions and their feelings. And sometimes we project it back into ours. And we as life motivators in here, we're learning how to shift those energies just a little bit so we can be the chain breaker and not continuously bring down what we've learned from past generations that are still dwelling on other things that they haven't been able to release yet. We have parents or grandparents that are still dwelling or lacking in something within their life, and they're holding that energy and they send it down to their grandchildren or their children. We are chain breakers within here, knowing that we are not going to pass that energy on to our children. We're showing them how they can harness the happiness in every situation. The car breaks down in the middle of the highway on where we're going. What do? We put the energies to it. We put a game to it. We make something of a positive aspect to it. A good little twist right quick. Okay, this is going to be, okay, inconvenient for a couple hours till we find our ride or our campground and where we're going and get set up. But that inconvenience is we're seeing something different, a new perspective. A different perspective of, hey, life doesn't always just, but like she said, if they would have went all the way deep into that mountain and that van would have broke there and was steaming and on fire, what would they do then? Looked like they'd be camping for a little bit longer, wouldn't they? Without cell service, she'd be looking around up on standing with his finger up in the air, hands out, hey, hold my hand over here, boy. Yeah, she'd be looking for that signal, right?
And I had put that together as well. It was 26 kilometers down a fire service road. If the van had broken down there with no cell reception and the 2 kids, oh man, I was thinking that. So I was like, thank you for choosing here.
Right. So instead of putting the bad energies to it, she put the thank you. Thank you. I see why you stopped it here. Yes, it may be an busy interstate, but it doesn't matter. I can get a tow truck to it. So it's spun it around quickly, and that thank you. It helps a lot. All right, I know the time and everybody's going pretty quickly here, and it's moving right along. I love it when we get in here. It seems like before you know it, that 30 minutes it just flies by. But when we get in here and we co-create and we put out these energies like this, it's so much fun. So we're going to get to listen to Miss Crystal. She gets in here every morning with us, and we're going to let her do her little thing. Go ahead, baby.
Morning, everybody. So just kind of branching out from what we've been talking about here, I'm going to kind of touch on counting your blessings. Again, today I'm with The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. One little quote she had in here was from good old Willie Nelson. And he even knows that. And he said, when I start counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. She goes on here to say, when you're grateful for the things you have, no matter how small they may be, you will see those things instantly increase. If you're grateful for the money you have, however little or big, you will see your money magically grow. If you're grateful for your relationship, even if it's not perfect, you will see it miraculously get even better. If you're grateful for the job that you have, even if it's not your dream job, things will begin to change so that you enjoy your job more, and all kinds of opportunities for your work will suddenly appear. I had fallen into that. I don't like my job. I don't like who I'm working with, and I really dwelled a lot on the negativity of it. Once I stepped into this community and found that, projecting that positivity, focusing on everything that is happier and better, and not dwelling on negative aspects of life, I felt things start to turn. Sorry, my cat's having a sneeze attack in the background there. When we count negative things, they increase. But on top of that, with every negative thing we count, we cancel out blessings that were on their way. I've tried both, counting my blessings and counting negative things. And I can assure you that counting your blessings is the only way to have abundance in your life. A writer and clergyman by the last name of Babcock also said, it's better to lose count while naming your blessings than to lose your blessings to count your troubles. So remember that when you move forward. If you find today, the path you're walking on today is a little rough and rocky and you find some struggles, try and see something that's positive out of that. Try to focus on that. And you'll notice that things will turn and abundance will grow. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you for that, Crystal. Yes, awesome book, Magic, the 28-day practice. If you haven't gone through that, then it would be a good book. It's something that we've all went through, and it helped us open to a different insight and a different perspective on the way that we can flow with our energies and our vibrations, and helps everybody get into a good habit form of different things within your life. Putting the good habits is something we have to do every day, because it's real easy to, pick up the habit of smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden it just becomes a habit form of that hand, wanting something there, or that taste of, or something. It just becomes a good habit. Or the same thing with a whiskey bottle or a beer bottle or any other forms of whatever that you may do that, brings a pleasure to your life. Some people, whatever it is, the habits that you get up and form in the morning time will assist you throughout your day. And then taking those habits and living with them every single day, every day, not just doing it for what I call a juicer's time frame. 30 days, 90 days, and then they drop right back off. Why? Because you have to keep the good fruits around the house. You have to go to the markets just about every day to make sure you do it. Then you got to cut them all up every morning. Then you got to throw them off in the blender before you can even get that much of that out of it. And then how many people actually get up on that time frame every morning so they can go ahead and do their juice and then do their exercise or whatever they were going to do? And not many people do. They drop off. But I found that the high energies that I put to myself, the good vibrations, the good thought process, everything that we do within here in the morning times, putting these habits of just talking to myself in the mirror, saying how good looking I am. Hey man, you're getting younger every day. I love you. Yes, I said it to myself. I love you. Those power words, and telling myself I look good, telling myself that the day is going to flow perfect, telling myself that I am greatness within, and the awesomeness that I have, I'm going to project out to everybody else today. Or nobody who I see, I'm going to project out a smile because I feel it within me. These talks right here is what got me out of depression. Through my bad days, the days that I didn't want to smile, like we were talking about a minute ago. The days I was in my depression and anxiety because I felt worthless as a man, because I couldn't physically go out there and do my jobby job anymore, because I was broken down to nothing. But what did I do? I started listening to that Tony Robbins. I started listening to that Jim Rohn. I started listening to that Gary Vee. And I started listening to my sister, who is very successful within her career life. And she said, you are more worthy than this. You are putting your own self through this. Get out of it. You were a motivator before. Why aren't you now to your own self? Why can't you practice your own teachings? So I had to rework my own self all over again. But I'm glad I did. And I'm glad I'm here every day with every one of you to be able to understand that no matter what you go through, you're going to be okay. Your heart is beating, that blood is flowing, and that creative mind will never stop. Take the talents, move them to the next level. If it's just a hobby that you want to play with, then it'll just be a hobby. If you're in here to build a business, don't treat it like a hobby. Treat it like a business. The things that you do just for fun, just for you, that you like to tinker with, whether it's toy models, painting on a little painting, if that's just your hobby, then keep that your hobby. If you're building a business, then create that business as a business. We're not evolving in here just to take it as a hobby to see if it'll work for a little while. We're taking it to move our life into that whole different direction of level that you've been wanting it to go, and it's only going to happen with action that you take within you. You take that action, you move it to that next level. You will be able to drive that energy and that passion and that purpose and that drive and that stuff that comes to you, and you haven't been able to understand, why am I getting these thoughts? Why am I getting this energy? Why do I have these tingles all the time? Why is my hair standing up at these different points in life? Why is I got all these goosebumps right now? Why? It's because source energy is flowing through you, wanting you to speak, wanting you to be able to bring that voice out, because that's what we all have. That is one thing that we have that no other creature on this planet has, and that's a voice box. Voice your words, tell your story. No matter what you've been through, people need to hear it, because it will resonate with others across the world. You may not think it is very worthy to be spoken, but I promise you, those words that you speak out of that mouth of whatever you have been through, from where you were to where you are now, it's not where you're sitting at because you're still dwelling here. It's what you have done to get yourself out, and how you can help and assist others to get their self out of it as well. Because all we need is a little nudge. I don't need somebody to come in and tell me how to do it. Just tell me some different practices that I can take and implement into mine. And if it flows with me, I'll roll with it. Because everybody will grasp from different people, from the different voices that you hear within here. You will resonate with the different things that people are going through. And I just want to say congratulations once again to our brother Julio and Roxana, even though she's not on here, for bringing y'all's co-creating together.
Thank you, sir.
For sure. So, all right. Anybody else got anything that they want to bring out right quick before we pass this on to Miss Shannon and wrap this morning up? We've had some great energies, some great stories, some great love passed out. Everybody is going today to back to you, maybe your jobby job, or you're sitting at home or doing whatever you're doing today, building your businesses, going to do whatever you're with your products and services, whatever you are doing. Take the energies of what are you expecting your day to end? How do you expect it to be? What do you want the end of the day to be when you sit back in your recliner this afternoon, when your feet up, or you're sitting in your rocking chair on your back porch watching the sunset, whatever it is? What is the energy of what you're going to be able to say this afternoon? You say, I feel accomplished. I got everything done that I needed to do today. But there's one thing Ashley said that a lot of y'all probably didn't catch a while ago. If you didn't complete all your goals, know when you kick your feet up and you're watching that sunset, it's okay. You get them tomorrow. If you didn't get everything accomplished today, it's okay. You get them tomorrow. As long as you had fun and good energies with today of what you did accomplish. And you're happy with what you did accomplish. Because that's where it's all at. Having the happy energy in everything that you're doing. It's hard to keep sometimes because negativity, they want to grab you. They want to pull you down. Keep the high energies, my friends. Because it's a better place sometimes. You might run alone, but sometimes you might run with a whole pack. I've got a whole group right here that no matter what I'm going through, I can pick up the phone and say, hey, I need a moment. And I'm sure they would pick up the phone. All right, Miss Shannon, we'll let you wrap us up.
Morning, everybody. Sometimes our lives have to be completely shaken up, changed, and rearranged to relocate us to the place we're meant to be. Emotions happen, but feelings are fed. I honor what my emotions have come to tell me, and I embrace my power to feed the feelings that I want to stick with. I am the composer of my inner harmony. I have more than enough energy to do everything I choose to do.
I choose. Love and appreciate you all. You have an awesome day. Thank you, Miss Shannon. Thank you, Julio, Ashley, Crystal, and everybody else that has come in here this morning. We love and appreciate you all for the energies that y'all bring each day to motivate us to be able to call ourselves the life motivators. Love and appreciate you all. We'll see y'all tomorrow.